Patanjali's universal chant, and we will dive into this topic of yoga for the core. यस्त्यक्त्वा रूपमाद्यं प्रभवति जगतो नेकदानुग्रहाय प्रक्षीणक्लेशराशिर्विषमविषधरो अनेकवक्त्रसुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपरिकरो प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हीशः सवो व्यात्सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः अस्मदाचार्येभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो नमो नमः ओम। So the topic for today is yoga for the core. The main objective of this session is to give a precise understanding and clarity about what is the core. People talk about developing core strength. So what exactly do we mean by core strength? Are we talking about the belly? Are we talking about the internal organs? Are we talking about some chakras? So what exactly is the core? What does it mean by strong core? And what does it mean to relax the core as well? Sometimes we keep the core chronically engaged, which is also not very good, because constantly it depletes energy from the system, we feel exhausted. And not only that, when we keep the core constricted all the time, it also interferes with the digestive process. So it can bring up acid reflux, and it's not a very pleasant experience. So what can we do? What are some of the postures that we can do to strengthen the core? What are some of the postures to relax the core, stretch the core muscles? What are the core muscles? How are they organized? That is the topic for today. So before we look at the definition of what is the core and what are the core muscles. So today most of the emphasis will be on the musculature. Yesterday it was the heart. Today, the musculature that form the core muscles of the body. So before we step into that, let us look at the definition of yoga asana. I'm sure all of us have seen this sutra of Patanjali, right? We are going to start with this principle first, because core, it brings both stability and it lays the foundation for sukham, or comfortable breathing. So when we look at the definition of asana that Maharishi Patanjali gives, Sthiram Sukham Asanam. I hope all of us have heard this sutra before, right? Sthiram Sukham Asanam. So yoga asana is defined as that body posture that is both stable and enjoyable or comfortable. Sthiram is one quality, Sukham is the other quality. When both are present in a posture, then we can claim that we are doing a yoga posture. Sometimes what happens, the body could be very stable, but we may be in an uncomfortable position. Right? When we are, for example, in fighting against a deadline, our body is so tense, we are working against something, but we are not very relaxed. So Sthiram could be there, but there is no Sukham. Or on the other extreme, somebody can become so comfortable. Yesterday we saw couch potato, right? Sitting on a couch and doing nothing, lazing around. A lot of Sukham is there, but you will soon discover after half an hour it no longer feels Sukham, because the other component that makes the Sukham sustainable, namely the Sthiram, is no longer there when we are a couch potato. So both need to be together so that the experience of stability and comfort can last for a long period of time. Yesterday when we spoke about the meditative postures has both. When we sit in Padmasana or Vajrasana, Virasana, Swastikasana, there are many postures where we can stay there for a long time in a stable and comfortable position for meditation. So Sthiram and Sukham both are there in these postures. So let us delve into this sutra a little bit more. Sthiram and Sukham. Sthiram, stability. In the next slide we will see what do we mean by the term stability. How can we recognize whether a body posture is stable or not? Let me give an example. Suppose you hear the instruction from the yoga teacher. Extend your arms to the sides. And if you see somebody doing this, right? Do you think the posture is stable? It's totally not stable, right? It's loose. It's not stable. But if you find someone doing this, fighting with the posture, is it stable? They're almost about to break, right? So maybe too much sthiram is there, but there's no sukham. So what is stability, what is comfort, we are going to see. We are going to precisely define what they are. This word sukham is also very interesting. It comes from the root word kham, which means, anyone knows what the word kham means? Pardon me? No.
Less effort, right?
Pardon me?
Less effort?
No. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that uses the word kham. Bhumirapo analo vayu kham mano buddhirevaja. Kham means space. Space. Sukham means comfortable space. Sukham. That means you have freedom to move. There's a lot of space. Dukkham is the opposite. There is less space, so you feel restricted. Your freedom has been limited. That is dukkham. So sukham means you have space to express yourself. And in the context of yoga practices, especially asanas and pranayama, sukham means the ability to breathe freely. In other words, you have space to breathe. If you do some postures for the first time where you feel constricted, then the first indicator that you are struggling in the pose, it will be expressed in the breath. When you listen to their breath, you will discover that they are no longer breathing freely. The breath has been subdued, or the breath is no longer moving in an easy manner. So that's a symptom or an indicator that sukham is no longer there. So in the context of asanas and pranayama, we can think of sukham as the ability to breathe freely. So in this context, inside the yoga mat, we can use that as a working definition for sukham. Because when we tell yoga students, okay, relax into the pose, be comfortable, and enjoy the pose with a smile on the face, they can fake a smile, right? They might be struggling inside, and they can flash a nice beaming smile, but they'll still be struggling within. But they cannot fake an easy breath. So the best indicator, if you want to really find out whether they are enjoying the posture, go near them and listen to their breath. Because from a distance, if you just look at their smile, you think, oh, everyone is enjoying the postures, it's nice, the class is going very well. But then you have to listen to the breath. Are they really in a place of sukham? Is the breath moving easily? So that is sukham. Okay. So let us see a little more on what is stability. If you look at the dictionary, it defines stability as the state of something that does not easily change shape. So what does it mean? If you look at some examples of stable objects, on the left side you see a few examples of stable objects. If you pull one part of the object, the whole object will move along with it. That's the indication of stability. Right? For example, if you take a chair, if you pull one leg of a chair, the whole chair moves along with it. Correct? So it's a rigid body. In other words, it moves as one unit. if you take a coconut, or if you take the laundry basket, I mean, they're all stable objects. If you pull one part of it, the whole thing moves along with it. Whereas unstable objects, you see a few of them on the right side. Let's take the example of a rope. If you coil a rope, if you pull one end of the rope, only part of the rope moves. The whole thing doesn't come along with you, right? So it's not a stable object. If you take a pile of sand, it's not stable because if you move a part of it, only a little bit of sand will move. The whole thing as a unit doesn't move together. Now, if we were to carry an object from one end of the room to the other end of the room, which do you think is more easy to maneuver, to move? Do you think a stable object is more easy to move or an unstable object? Stable object, right? It's very easy to imagine why. For example, if you have to drag a chair from one end to the other, you just have to pull one part of the chair and the whole chair moves along with it. Whereas if you have to move a pile of sand, you cannot do that. You have to make several trips from one end of the room to the other. Or put the sand in a stable container. For example, if you have a lot of clothes, laundry basket, you put all the clothes in one basket and then move the basket, right? So the point here is, when we bring stability, it's easier to control the system. A stable object is easier to control. Unstable objects have multiple centers of gravity. For example, you see the collection of marbles, right? So you have several objects, many marbles. If you take only one of them, the whole collection doesn't move together, right? So an unstable object usually has multiple independent centers of gravity, whereas stable objects have one center of gravity. There's an integrity to it. It's one unit. Okay? So that's what stability means. So, for example, if you consider stretching the arms to the sides, and if somebody were doing this, right, then if I were to move one arm, if somebody were to pull one arm, only the arm will move. The whole body doesn't move with it, right? So there's multiple centers of gravity. The posture is not stable. Whereas if I hold the arm like this, if somebody were to move my arm, my right arm, then the whole body will go along with it, right? So it's a stable object. Stability is there. There is one center of gravity. So this is our working definition of stability. It's clear so far?
Yes.
So we understand what is stability. Sthiram means there is one center of gravity. The whole object is one unit, one organic unit. Otherwise, unstable objects have multiple centers of gravity. So how can we apply this in our yoga asanas? Remember, sthiram is an integral part of yoga asanas. Sthiram and sukham, the two legs on which the asana stands. Right? So let's look at an example. Plank pose. Right? We do this as part of Surya Namaskar. Between the left and right images, which do you think you would prefer? Which is the more correctly aligned posture? Which would you pick? It's clear, right? It says it's a stable plank. So stable plank is better than the unstable plank in terms of the alignment, the stability, and the comfort in which we can hold the pose for a long time. So why is the stable plank better than the unstable plank? See, in the unstable plank, you will see the hips are hanging loose. You can think of it as two centers of gravity. The upper extremities and the lower extremities, they seem to be disjoint. They are not connected as one organic unit. Now, as we saw in the previous slide, if we were to control the whole unit, then it's easier to do it with stability rather than an unstable system of objects. In other words, when we hold the posture in a stable space, it requires less effort because it's easier to control the body. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier to control the system. You require less expenditure of energy to hold that posture. Otherwise, to hold the right side plank, it requires a lot more energy. It's like you spend hundreds of dollars and then you get nothing for it. Whereas the left side is more efficient. You spend a little bit and you get a lot out of it. So on the right side, what you receive is not commensurate with what you put in. So the left side is more efficient. Holding the posture stable is more efficient expenditure of energy. So that's why we hold the posture in a stable way. When we keep the posture stable, you will recognize the effortlessness that comes with daily practice. So because we feel less and less that we have to expend energy, the posture feels more and more effortless. In fact, that's the second sutra that Patanjali says. After he says Sthira Sukha Masanam, then the next sutra he says Prayatna Shaitilya Ananta Samapatibhyam. Shaitilya means struggle or excess effort. I'm sorry, Prayatna means struggle or excess effort. Shaitilya means to let go of that effort, to make the posture more and more effortless. So when we bring the posture to a stability, then it feels more and more effortless, so effortless that the body feels light, as if you have forgotten the body. Your intentions and your awareness is on something higher than the body. It's not stuck at the level of the gross existence, the physical body. Patanjali later he talks about it as the Videha Samadhi. Aho pratyayo videha prakriti layanam. That's a sutra where he says videha means you forget your body. And when you look at Ayurveda scriptures, Ayurveda gives several definitions of health. One of the very interesting definitions of health that Ayurveda gives is, if you forget your body, you are healthy. It's a very interesting definition. Think about it for a little bit. If you forget your body, you are healthy. When do you remember your head? Only when you have a headache, right? Otherwise, constantly you don't remind yourself, I have a head, I have a head, I have a head. You have forgotten your head. That means the head is healthy. So when you forget your body feels so light that you forget about it. That means the body is healthy. The mind, if you forget the mind, that means the thoughts, the turbulent thoughts or the heavy emotions, they no longer, they interfere with our well-being. When you forget the mind, that means the mind is healthy. There is well-being in the system. So by bringing stability, we are making the body more and more light. Not the actual physical weight, but the feeling of it. You feel light. That is stability. It's clear, right?
Yes.
Now, why are we looking into this? Because the core muscles, the most important component in the body that plays the role of a stabilizer, is the core. So that's why we are examining these two concepts of stability and comfort. Let's look a little bit about comfort. As I said before, so sukham means comfortable space. If you look at which system in the body deals with space, it is actually the respiratory system. Yesterday we saw how we create space by expanding the thoracic cavity so that we allow the air to flow in. Remember from yesterday, we are not dragging the air molecules inside. We are just creating space and it allows the inflow of air into the system. So when we talk about the mechanics of breathing, in fact we have a whole dedicated session, we will look into it in more detail. But the important thing to remember is, in breathing, the process of respiration is actually, when you model this process of respiration as a mechanical system, if you don't consider the gaseous exchange in the alveoli, in the lungs, the chemical processes you just set aside for the time being, if you look at it just as a mechanical system, it is basically interplay between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. You see the top and bottom, right? The thoracic cavity is filled with air. You can think of it as a balloon. Whereas the abdominal cavity, you can think of it as a fluid-filled system. You can think of it as a water-filled balloon. So these two cavities are moving against each other. So when we breathe in, the thoracic cavity expands. It exerts the pressure in the water-filled cavity. That's the model. It's not really water, but water-filled system, hydraulic system. Whereas the thoracic cavity is a pneumatic system and hydraulic system. So in the mechanics of breathing involves a thoraco-abdominal shape change. They keep changing shape. So the thoracic cavity not only changes shape, it also changes volume. Whereas the abdominal cavity does not change volume, it just changes shape. We will look at all of this again when we talk about breathing. But the main point to understand from this slide is breathing involves changing shape. Now, let's go back a couple of slides. When we talked about stability, we saw this definition, the state of something that does not easily change shape. Whereas in breathing, we are saying we have to change shape. Thoracic and the abdominal cavities, they keep changing shape. So you have a nice interplay between stability and sukham, which is the comfort. One tries to keep the body stable by not changing shape, whereas the other, we keep changing shape. So they look very contradictory, but they are actually complementary. When we want to hold the posture stable for a long time, we also need the ability to change shape, namely in thoracic and the abdominal cavity. So, any questions? The core muscles, not only do they play the role of stabilizer, they also play a role in the process of respiration. When we talk about breathing, the respiration, usually the first muscle that comes to mind is the diaphragm, the thoracic diaphragm. But there are many other muscles that also help in the process of respiration, the accessory muscles. And one set of accessory muscles are the core muscles. So core muscles not only help stabilize the system, but they also help with the process of breathing. They aid in the process of breathing. For example, if we keep the core muscles tense all the time, then it will interfere with the process of breathing as well. We cannot breathe fully because we are holding the breath. We will see what are the muscles. There is one muscle where it acts like a belt. If we keep a very tight belt, then we cannot breathe freely. So we will see that a little later. So we have a good understanding now of what is stability and what is comfort, right? Sthiram and sukham, and why we need both. So if you look at this picture earlier that we had of a tree, this is a very good example of a balance between sthiram and sukham. The tree is rooted to the ground, right? It needs a stable foundation, stable base, whereas the leaves are free to move. So it's a nice mix of stability and comfort. Remember, comfort means there is unrestricted space where you can express yourself, where you can move. So like that, we want to be like this tree. If you are too rigid, then it becomes brittle. There is no movement possible. Whereas, if there is only movement, if there is no firm foundation, then we get tossed and turned around by what is in the outside. So we need a strong foundation and a strong sukham, where you have the ability to move. So what is the core? Finally, we are going to examine what do we mean by core. If you look at different anatomy books, they give different definitions of core. But one of the things that they have in common is the muscles in the abdominal region. But for this presentation, we are going to extend what we call the core region in this working definition. So the core can be described as the area from the bottom of the rib cage, approximately the diaphragm region, so the bottom of the rib cage to the pelvic floor. The main parts of the core are the abdomen, the lower back, and the pelvis. Usually when people say core, they talk only about the abdominal muscles. But we can extend it because even the back muscles, lower back muscles, can also be included in the core part of the body. And the pelvis, because there are some deep core muscles that articulate the pelvis as well. If the core is weak, then and shoulders are inadequate to compensate for the lack of core strength. So the core is very important because when we don't have a strong core, developing strong muscles elsewhere in the body is not going to help. It doesn't have that firm foundation. In fact, there is a story they say about Muhammad Ali, boxer. It seems he used to spend inordinate amount of time strengthening his core. So people used to laugh at him. Oh, you're just doing boxing, you need to strengthen your arm, the muscles of the arms. Why are you doing core work? But then he said, so the strong core will give me extra punch, extra strength. And looks like he was right. Pretty successful in what he did. So core muscles are very important. It gives us firm foundation for stability throughout the body. So importance of the core strength. So what are the things that we benefit from if we have a strong core? Let's look at the functions of the core. Stability in postures. Stability in posture. Remember, stability means the whole body is one organic unit. It's not composed of multiple centers of gravity. It is one unit. So the core holds the whole thing, the whole system together. If the core is not strong, what happens is when we have to sit for long periods of time, either in meditation or simply sitting in front of a computer for long periods of time, we don't have adequate strength to hold the correct posture. So we become sloppy, and then slowly it causes lack of alignment in the body, and we feel low back pain, shoulder pain, or knee pain, and so forth. So stability in postures. Structural integrity of vital organs, because the core also envelopes the abdominal cavity. There are lots of vital organs in the abdominal cavity. And in the thoracic cavity, we have two important vital organs, the lungs and the heart. So all of these are encased in the core. So the core musculature helps to stabilize this internal environment. It brings that mechanical integrity. Yesterday we saw what happens when the form is disturbed. In other words, if the organs are displaced away from their intended positions, it affects their functioning. Form and function are interrelated. So it is one of the functions that the core plays is make sure that all the vital organs are there in the correct place. The third one cushions the spine from destabilizing forces. Cushions the spine from destabilizing forces. For example, when we are driving in our car, and if the roads are not very smooth, then you need some shock absorbers within the body. There are multiple layers of shock absorbers. Later on, when we talk about the spine, we will see some more layers of how it protects the spine. But one level of shock absorber is the core. It acts like a cushion from the destabilizing forces so that the spine is protected. And then respiration, in the sense that the core muscles act as accessory muscles for respiration. They work in tandem with the thoracic diaphragm. Diaphragm, of course, is the main muscle for respiration, but core is also very important. So the lack of core strength can cause predisposition to injury. In fact, as we saw yesterday, low back pain can also appear because of lack of core strength. So instead of just focusing on the back, of course back muscles also form a part of the core, but strengthening the abdominal muscles also will relieve the low back pain. It is a leading cause of low back pain, and chronic contraction in the core constricts breathing. It also interferes with the digestive process. We saw this before. So this is the importance of strengthening the core. So what are the core muscles? We are going to divide that into 3 sets of muscles. So the first set that you see on the left, the abdominal musculature. There are 4 main muscles in the abdominal musculature. what we call the abdominal core. The midsection you see the spinal musculature, and the main set of muscles is the multifidus. Multifidus. And the third set that you see here are the hip flexors. There are two primary muscles there. First one is the psoas major, and then the